For this screencast, I'll talk about finding song lyrics and citing them in Noodle Tools. Let's imagine that my songwriter artist is the Jonas Brothers. So I might try to find some of their most famous songs. My goal as I'm searching for my primary sources or the works that the artist created is to find the works that are going to match up to what the scholarly research is on. And Jonas Brothers probably wouldn't actually work for this project because I don't know that there's enough scholarly work done on their songs yet, but hopefully one day there will be. But what you want to find is what are the songs that people have written about, that they've analyzed and that they've critiqued, so that you can match up your primary sources to your secondary sources. So as you're picking your primary sources, you do want to pick ones that you think people are more likely to have written about. So I'm going to pick Burnin' Up because I think it's likely that people, if they've analyzed any Jonas Brothers song, they would analyze this one. So for the lyrics, really what you're analyzing is the lyrics. You can cite from YouTube, or you can cite the lyrics from a website that collects lyrics like Genius. Let's just use Genius. I think it used to be called Song Genius. Lyrics Genius. Okay. And it was written by the Jonas Brothers, so that's good because I do want to make sure that I am looking at the songwriters. So now I also need to find where it was originally published and recorded on an album. So here's where you're going to look on Wikipedia. Or in fact, here's all the information straight here on Google. So now I'm going to go to Noodle Tools and log in. And when we're on Noodle Tools, you're going to click on Project and then Sources and New Source. When we're on Noodle Tools for a song, you want to be able to tell where did you get the lyrics, so this website, but also what was it originally published and recorded on, because that's going to be the actual source. The website really, in that case, you're just citing a website, but we're trying to cite a song. So for Noodle Tools, we found it on a website, but it is a sound recording that we found on a website. So I'm going to click website and then sound recording. Use this form to cite a track from a recording originally published on CD or similar media. That's me. Okay, so the website, the container website is Genius. The publisher of the site is Genius. I'm not going to repeat that. The URL is here, and the date of access is today. Okay, now we're looking at a single track, which is Burnin' Up. So I'm going to click this drop down. Okay, the role, I want to focus on the songwriter. I want to focus on who wrote it, the lyricist. So the first one is Nick Jonas, and then the next lyricist is Joe Jonas, and then the next lyricist is Kevin Jonas, and then I think that it looked like there was somebody else included when I saw this, one more, and Big Rob. All right, so now let's find out Big Rob's real name. Big Rob from the Jonas Brothers. Robert Feggins. So I'm going to add Big Rob as a lyricist, I suppose. Did he really? Yeah, he wrote it. All right. So I'm going to add Big Rob, but I'm going to put his real name, lyricist Robert Feggins. I think he had 2 G's. Yep. Okay. And if citing a single song or track emphasizes contribution of, we don't need to worry about this. You're really just going to be putting the lyricists, the songwriters, because any artist that you're doing was the singer and songwriter. The title of the song is Burnin' Up. And they suggest that up should not be used, but in this case, everything that I'm seeing is capitalizing the U in up, so I'm going to be consistent with what I'm seeing here. Now, the sound recording. So this was published or recorded on the album A Little Bit Longer, and the producer was John Fields. So role producer, John Fields. And again, I'm not going to emphasize the contribution. The title of the album is a little bit longer. The manufacturer of recording, that means what label. That's Hollywood Records, and the copyright year was 2008, and the date of the recording in this case is the same. They recorded it for this album. And then I'll put my annotation. So I'm going to put the summary of the song and then my key quotations. And I'm not going to fill this in right now, but on the next slide, you'll see an example of what a completed annotation for a song would look like. Include this in my final works cited, yes. Then I'm going to press save, and hopefully I completed all of the fields that are required, and I did. Now I'm going to see this on my list of sources. One thing that's nice is you can add a tag and tag this as a primary source so that I can remember and keep track of how many primary sources versus how many secondary sources do I have. And that's all that you have to do for songs.